Good morning. Today we will be starting with another interesting section in the side distance concept, that is the overtaking side distance, short formed as OSD. So we all know, or you all know, what is overtaking. At some point of time you might have seen it, you might have heard it, you might have also experienced it. Some of you who have driven two-wheelers or four-wheelers, so they must have experienced this operation or driving maneuver of overtaking. So just to show you pictorially, this is what overtaking looks like, that there is a slow moving vehicle. In this case, as you can see, it's a truck, and then you have a fast moving vehicle, which is a car in this case, which is at the rear side of the truck. So instead of following this truck, or instead of the fast vehicle following the slow moving vehicle, what the driver of the fast moving vehicle decided, it comes out of the lane on which they are dedicated to, or which is dedicated to the driving, and then they overtake or they surpass the slow moving vehicle, and then again they rejoin the original lane on which the driver was traveling. Okay, in this you can see just two arrows, red and green. So typically we know that while completing the overtaking, the driver or the driver of the fast moving vehicle, he or she doesn't closely go to the slow moving vehicle, but they somewhat maintain some distance and then they go back to the original lane on which they were traveling. So if I just demarcate over here, okay, so at this location the fast moving vehicle has returned to its original lane, and if I demarcate over here, so the original or the fast moving vehicle has came out or started the overtaking operation. So this distance which is there between these two red lines, so this complete distance, it is nothing but the overtaking side distance or the OSD. So in today's lecture we are going to see, now this is the concept, we all know what is overtaking. So today what we are going to see is how actually we will calculate this distance, because as we have calculated for the stopping side distance SSD, the same way, or not on the same track but similar to that, we will be having some formula which will give you this OSD. Okay, but this formula, just to tell you that it's not that complicated as the SSD formula. Even the SSD formula, it's not complicated, but if you compare the two, SSD and OSD formulas, the OSD formula is pretty much straightforward and it's very simple. So just the theory I have mentioned here, that you can read it. So it's a overtaking side distance or OSD, it is nothing but a minimum distance. Okay, this word is important because it will help you understand a lot of terms or a lot of doubts. It will help you clear a lot of doubts which you might have after completing this section. So OSD is the minimum distance open to the vision of driver intending to overtake the slow moving vehicle ahead of it, and that too overtaking safely and against the traffic in opposite direction. Now this is important. In this picture or in this figure, there was no vehicle which is coming from this opposite direction. But if you consider worst case scenario or critical condition, so in critical condition scenario, this might be the case that you have a vehicle moving from the opposite direction, and before it reaches this point, you have to complete your overtaking operation. Okay. So that minimum distance which is open to the vision of driver, that is nothing but OSD. And generally for OSD, we consider that height of the eye level of the driver is 1.2 meter above the road surface, and that of the object is also 1.2 meter. Now in this case, the object is nothing but the vehicle which is traveling from the opposite direction. So both the objects are vehicle itself. One is in the up direction and another is in the down direction. So now again, as we looked upon some factors on which your SSD depends, similarly there are factors on which your OSD also depends. Now what are those factors? I will not go into detail because once you have or once you have understood the concept of side distance and you have seen the SSD, so pretty much on the same lines you can understand the factors which affect your OSD as well. So first is obviously speed of vehicles. Now here I've written vehicles because there are more than one vehicle which is involved in this scenario of overtaking. So obviously you have an overtaking vehicle. Okay, understand the terms or remember the terms. You have an overtaking vehicle which is nothing but the which is nothing but the fast moving vehicle. Then you have a second vehicle which is overtaken vehicle, which is the slow moving vehicle. And then you have an oncoming vehicle, which is the vehicle coming from the opposite direction. So the term is given as oncoming vehicle. The second factor on which your OSD depends is the distance, obviously the distance between the overtaking and overtaken vehicle. That is, if you can see in this figure, this distance between the overtaking, in this case, this fast moving vehicle is the overtaking vehicle, and the slow moving truck in this case is the overtaken vehicle. So the distance between these two, that will also affect the OSD. So how we'll come to know in a few slides now. Then obviously the third most important thing is all this overtaking operation, it will be depending on what is how much skillful your driver is. Okay, because in all these three vehicles, the entity which is driving all these three vehicles is nothing but a driver, a human. So obviously every human has its own or has his or her own skills, driving skills and reaction time. This we have seen in the SSD as well. So depending on that also this OSD will depend. Okay, suppose a driver is very new to driving a four-wheeler and he or she has just recently taken his vehicle onto the road and started driving. So for that kind of a driver, the skills are not yet developed. So maybe that driver will require a more overtaking side distance to complete the operation safely. Okay, against a driver who is very skilled and has experience of 15 to 20 years driving all kinds of vehicles. So that's another factor. The fourth factor, again important one, is the rate of acceleration, because we all know in overtaking what we have to do is, suppose I am overtaking and I'm driving a four-wheeler, so I have to first take a good, what you can say, I have to first judge the situation around that what is the speed of the overtaken vehicle or the slow vehicle, whether any vehicle is coming from behind, whether there is a vehicle coming from opposite direction. So I have to judge the environment around, and once I take the decisions, once I judge the environment and take the decisions that okay, I have to overtake, then what I have to do is I have to accelerate my vehicles. So if my vehicle is not that much capable of generating that much sufficient acceleration so that it can surpass the slow moving vehicle, then there is no use of overtaking. Okay? Or the overtaking will not happen altogether in that condition. So the rate of acceleration of the overtaking vehicle, that is an important factor. And then again, your gradient will play important role, but it is I will written if any, because not always you have a gradient. There might be also plain terrain in which you have a zero gradient or level road. So in that case, gradient will not come into picture. But yes, it will come into picture when you consider these situations in up gradient or a down gradient or a hilly area. So these are the factors on which your OSD depends. Now coming to the actual overtaking. Now I have just tried to show in pictorial format that what can be the scenarios for overtaking. Okay. So for all these scenarios, what I have taken is a two-lane road, and this two-lane road, it is having a two-way traffic. Now you all know what is two-lane road and two-way traffic, because a similar kind of numerical we had solved in related to SSD, that is stopping side distance. So in all the scenarios that I will be showing, I have a two-lane road and a two-way traffic. Now there is a reason why I have considered just two-lane road and two-way traffic, that I'll tell you at the end of the concept of this overtaking side distance, or you will come to know automatically if you understand it very well. So in this first scenario, overtaking scenario, two-lane, two-way traffic. and you have two vehicles, red and blue. The red one is the slow moving vehicle and the blue one is the fast moving vehicle. Now for all these scenarios, I have taken only car as a pictorial representation, but it can be any vehicle. Even a car can be a slow moving vehicle, not necessarily always a truck or a bus or a heavy vehicle is a slow moving vehicle. Even a car is a slow moving vehicle sometimes. So this is the first scenario, and then in this, there is no vehicle from the opposite direction or so. So your fast moving vehicle, it will simply just come out of the track and then it will complete the overtaking operation. This is scenario one. Then there is a second scenario. Again, it's a two-lane, two-way traffic, but now in addition to the slow moving vehicle, which is red, and the fast moving vehicle, which is blue, you have another vehicle on the right side, extreme right, if you see, but it's on the opposite lane. So it's the oncoming vehicle, okay, which is traveling in the opposite direction to the other two vehicles. Okay. So again, this is another scenario. So in this case, your fast moving vehicle, it has to judge the environment, that what is the speed of this oncoming vehicle, and accordingly then again it has to complete its overtaking operation. And then you have a third scenario in which now you have four vehicles in the system. You have a slow moving vehicle, which is red. You have a fast moving vehicle, which is blue. Then you have a oncoming vehicle, which is the yellow color vehicle, which is in opposite direction. And in addition to that, in this system, you have a fourth vehicle, which is the orange one, which is following the fast moving vehicle. So many of the times this also happens, or this might have happened with some of you, that you try to overtake, or this blue vehicle is going to overtake your red vehicle. But in that scenario, this orange vehicle might also try to overtake. Okay, so there can be a chance of this double overtaking as well. Okay, or if it doesn't overtake two vehicles, at least it will try to overtake the red vehicle, and it will go again behind your blue vehicle. Okay, so this can be another scenario for overtaking, and this is the most I can say maximum vehicles in the system that can be considered for overtaking. I am not saying that every time during overtaking only four vehicles are there. There might be even a long queue behind this oncoming vehicle as well. But for scenario purpose, this can be the maximum number of vehicles. So I hope all the three scenarios are clear. Overtaking scenario one, in which you had two vehicles, both in the same direction. One was slow, one was fast. The second scenario in which you had three vehicles, two in similar direction and the other in the opposite or oncoming direction. And in the third scenario, you have a four vehicle system in which you have three vehicles in the same direction and the fourth one is coming from the opposite direction. Now, why I showed you this scenario is, combinedly, if you take a look of all the three scenarios, overtaking scenario 1, 2, and 3, now what we are going to do is, we are going to analyze this OSD. So what do you think, which scenario is to be considered for this analysis purpose? Just type in your answer in the chat box. So amongst these three, scenario 1, 2, and 3, for analysis purpose, that we have to derive a formula for your OSD, which of these three scenarios you will be considering for analysis purpose? Whatever your answers, just type it in the chat box quickly. I'll again repeat my question, that which of these three scenarios, amongst these three scenarios, which one you will be considering for analysis purpose of OSD, that you have to formulate or generate a formula for this OSD. Okay, one student is saying scenario 2, another is in third, second. Okay, there are mixed answers. Some of them are saying the third one and some of them are saying the second one. Okay, it's good. Now the answer to this is the second scenario, and the reason I'll tell you that, okay, the ones who have given this answer, that scenario 3, you might have thought in that way, that you have more cars in the system, so this is the critical one. So if your blue vehicle, it has to overtake, so it has to take into consideration a lot of parameters. Okay, but as we all know, many of times whenever you derive a formula or you try to generate some equations for a particular system, so we try to keep the system as easy as possible, or try to keep the formula as easy as possible, but at the same time we try to keep the system as much practical or as much close to the actual field conditions as possible. So in this case, the scenario 2 which we are taking, so that is going to be considered for the analysis purpose, because you will be seeing shortly that we need to find the distance between that for that overtaking operation. So whatever is this distance, we need to find that distance, and this distance is irrespective of the third scenario of this vehicle. So irrespective whether this vehicle is there or not, this orange vehicle, whether it is there in your system or it is not there, irrespective of that, you have to find this, or your OSD will be the same more or less for that. Okay? So even if you see that a vehicle that you are overtaking, and at the same time a vehicle behind you is trying to overtake, but most of the times you can say more than 50% of the time it happens that if one vehicle is trying to overtake, the another vehicle behind it, it will not try to overtake unless and until he or she is very sure that there is no one coming from the opposite direction, and he or she is sure that his vehicle will be able to accelerate more than the acceleration of this vehicle in front. So that is a lot of ifs and buts come into picture. Okay, so to avoid those ifs and buts, we consider this scenario 2 for analysis. So coming to the actual analysis, now here I have tried to actually show you the overtaking operation. I am very sure all of you must know that what happens in overtaking operation is your overtaking vehicle, it travels such a path. But I have tried to show you that for analysis purpose, how these three vehicles will move. Okay, so it's sort of a short animation. So just before starting the animation, I want to tell you that keep a close watch on all the three vehicles in the way that they move. Okay, which vehicle moves slowly, which vehicle moves fast, and which vehicle moves in some other direction of that. So just keep a look on or watch on all the three vehicles. So in this, the blue one, the A vehicle, I'll name it as, it's the overtaking vehicle or the fast moving vehicle. The red color, it is the B vehicle, I'll name it, and it is the overtaking vehicle or the slow moving vehicle. And the yellow one, I'll name it as C, and it is the oncoming vehicle. So if I just start the overtaking operation, so it will be something like this. Okay. Now you see what has happened is it started from some point, and by the time it finished, the vehicle A finished its operation of overtaking, simultaneously there was the oncoming vehicle which was not at rest, it was moving. So by the time it completed its operation, it came just at the same level. So that is the critical point or critical scenario in this scenario as well, that by the time you go on, your overtaking vehicle goes on to the original lane, at the same instant or within the same span of time, the oncoming vehicle is coming close to your or coming adjacent to the overtaking vehicle. Okay. So once again, if you want to see, so it starts pretty early, but just it tries to fit in the gap between these two vehicles. Okay, so that is the most critical scenario you can say, or the worst case scenario. So that's why in the previous slides, if you recall, in the theoretical definition of OSD, there was a mention of minimum distance. Overtaking side distance is the minimum distance. So why minimum? Because we are considering this very critical case that just when the oncoming vehicle comes close by, your overtaking operation is completed. Okay. So now our analysis, it will run across all these different movements. So if I just mark the locations of my vehicles, different vehicles. So A1 is the location of my overtaking vehicle, initial location. Okay. Then A2 is another location. A2 is the location where your driver will decide that now I will start overtaking. So that's the location where your actual overtaking operation starts. So if you just concentrate on this area, the one which I am circle or showing in the red dot. So if you just highlight or concentrate on it, so that is the point from where your overtaking starts. Okay. So that's the location A2, and the final location of your overtaking vehicle when it completes the overtaking operation, it is A3. And similarly, for your slow moving vehicle B, so this was the initial location B1 when the overtaking operation actually started. And then B2 is the location, because in any case, all the three vehicles are moving. It's not like your vehicle is overtaking, so other vehicles have stopped. It's not like that. We are considering a critical case. So for that critical case, all the vehicles are moving with whatever speed they desire. Okay. And then in that case, this B vehicle is also moving, though it's a slow moving vehicle. So you can see your A vehicle, it has traveled a lot of distance, but your B vehicle has traveled a lesser distance, but nevertheless, it has traveled some distance. So B1 is the initial location of your overtaken vehicles or slow moving vehicle, and B2 is the final location. So final location as in the location when the overtaking operation was completed. Okay, final location means it's not coming to a rest, it's still moving, but I have just considered it, I have freezed the frame or paused the frame. Okay, so that's the final location. And similarly for C vehicle, it's an oncoming vehicle. So C1 is the initial location, and by the time the overtaking operation completed, so it came to a location C2, which is, you can say, almost adjacent or in line with your A3 location. Okay, so these are the different locations. Now what we need to actually do is we need to find a distance, the overtaking side distance. And that overtaking side distance, if I just place separators at the locations that I have marked, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, and C1, C2, if I just mark some separators, and if I label the distances, so the distance between A1 to A2 point, it is marked as D1. The distance between A2 to A3, that is marked as D2, and it is further divided into S and B. We'll be seeing that what it is. And then the distance between C1 and C2 or C2 and C1, it is D3. So your overtaking side distance, if you go on calculating, so it will be nothing but OSD, it will be equal to this D1 plus D2 plus D3. It's as simple as that. It's a similar type that we had seen in the SSD as well. That SSD, it's lag distance plus braking distance. Now in case of OSD, we don't have any of those. We don't have lag distance or braking distance, but what we have is three different distances, D1, D2, and D3. Okay. So now if you see the overtaking operation, if I just recite it in the form of a story. So what was there? There was a slow moving vehicle. Okay. Now I'll just say vehicle A, vehicle B, and vehicle C. So you can very well know that which vehicle I'm talking about, slow or fast. So I'll narrate it in the form of a story that there was a vehicle B which was moving on your road. Then a vehicle A approached from its rear side with some speed. Okay. We might also take speed into consider. We'll also put speed into picture. So a vehicle B, it was traveling at some speed VB. Okay, capital VB in kmph and small VB in meter per second. So vehicle B, it was traveling at some speed VB. Then came a vehicle A from the rear side with some speed V, and this speed is nothing but the design speed, we'll assume. Okay, now why design speed? Now suppose for a highway, a design speed is 100 kmph. So from 0 to 100 kmph, any vehicle, if even I consider these three vehicles, so these three vehicles, they can be traveling at any speed from 0 to 100. But for analysis purpose, we can't just randomly select any value. We can't randomly select that, okay, B is traveling at 30 kmph, A is traveling at 80 kmph, and C is traveling at 70 kmph. We can't randomize it. We have to find a generalized formula. So for that generalized formula, we have to also consider some speeds. So that some speeds value are nothing but the slow moving vehicle will be having its own speed VB, no doubt about that. But the fast moving vehicle A, which has approached in this, it is traveling with the design speed. We assume that. Yes. So suppose its highway design speed is 100 kmph. So that vehicle entered the system with 100 kmph speed. And you all know speed, if it is more, then it will be more difficult for the person to overtake unless and until it's a very open road and there is no vehicle coming from opposite direction. So however experienced the driver is, whether he is experienced for 50 years also, but when the driver sees any vehicle coming from opposite direction, automatically there is some reflexes which tells which reduces the speed of the vehicle before overtaking. Okay. So again, continuing with the story, there is a vehicle B which is traveling with a speed VB kmph. Then there came a vehicle A into the system which was traveling at a speed V kmph. But now it saw that vehicle B is traveling at a lesser speed or slow speed. So what it did is it wanted to overtake this vehicle because it didn't had any intention to follow the vehicle B. So driver of vehicle A decided to overtake the vehicle. So in that period, again we have seen this, that even if you have to take a small decision, or even if you have to take a decision whether to overtake or not, your mind or your system, whole body, it will take some time. In fraction of seconds, it might be 2.5 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay, the reaction time that we saw in the SSD. So similarly, the moment the driver enters the system and decides to overtake, he or she will need some time for taking this decision, and we call that as a reaction time. So in that reaction time, the vehicle A, it travels a distance of d1. Now once it has taken the decision, once vehicle A driver or driver of vehicle A has taken the decision that it will overtake vehicle B, then the overtaking operation starts, and then it travels a distance of d2 and completes its overtaking operation. So starting from point A2 to A3, whatever was the distance covered by the vehicle A, that is nothing but the distance d2. Now what has happened, we also have this third vehicle in our picture. So when the overtaking operation started from A2, the vehicle C1, it was, or vehicle C, it was approaching from this opposite direction. So by the moment, or by the time the vehicle A started the overtaking operation and completed it, the vehicle C at the same in the same time frame, it traveled from C1 to C2 and covered a distance d3. So this is the whole story that I have narrated. Okay. So what happened? There was a vehicle B, which was a slow moving vehicle in this system. Then came a vehicle into the system which was moving at some speed, which was moving at a design speed, and then it decided to overtake. So in the time span of seeing the slow moving vehicle and taking the decision of overtaking, it traveled a distance d1. Then it actually started the overtaking operation from the location A2. Then it overtook the vehicle, slow moving vehicle, and it went back to the original lane at the location A3. By the time this happened, by the time this overtaking happened, which was the distance d2, the vehicle B, it moved from location B1 to B2, And also the vehicle C, which was the oncoming vehicle, it moved from C1 to C2. Okay. And this again, vehicle B, it moved from B1 to B2 with the same speed. Okay, the speed was not increased or decreased by this vehicle, and the speed of the oncoming vehicle, it was also V kmph. That is nothing but the design speed. Okay, again, if we are considering 100 kmph, so the C vehicle was also traveling with 100 kmph. So now you get why we have frozen this values of speed, because we are calculating the minimum distance required or minimum distance which is visible to the driver during overtaking, and it's a critical one because when the overtaking is going on, at the same time there is a vehicle coming from the opposite direction. Okay. So this is the scenario. Now again, whatever I told you just now, the same thing I have explained in the next few slides, that these 3 steps is nothing but your vehicle A, it follows the slow moving vehicle B for a few seconds. Now this few seconds is nothing but the reaction time in which the vehicle A driver, it will decide whether to overtake or not. So this is nothing but reaction time. Then in the second frame, then it accelerates, or it must accelerate, shift to adjacent right side lane, and then complete the overtaking maneuver. And then return in the third frame, it returns to the left lane before, this is very important, before the oncoming vehicle C approaches overtaking stage. If this before is not there, if the oncoming vehicle approaches first, so then there are chances of accident, or maybe the overtaking operation will be terminated and the vehicle A will again shift back to its original lane. So this overtaking side distance OSD, it can be divided into 3 parts, depending, or if I consider these 3 frames of time instances, then it can be divided into 3 parts. The first part is the distance D1, which is traveled by the overtaking vehicle A during the reaction time. So this again I have explained in the scenario. It is in second and the distance D1 is in meter. And that distance is nothing but distance from position A1 to A2 before starting to overtake. Okay, so the overtaking has not yet started, but then to this distance D1, it will be covered, or it will be considered into the overtaking side distance, because that is related to overtaking, because the decision whether to overtake or not, that was taken during this distance, okay, D1. So that's why, though it's not actually the overtaking or start of overtaking, we have considered D1 only because it has influence, or it is the distance which is covered during that process of decision making. Then the second distance D2, it is the distance again in meter traveled by the vehicle A during the actual overtaking. Now the overtaking operation starts, which goes on from position A2 to A3. And the time duration for this is capital T seconds. Now do not confuse between the lowercase t and uppercase t, that is small t and capital T. Small t is the reaction time, capital T is the actual overtaking time or overtaking duration. And the third distance, that is D3, it is the distance again in meter traveled by the oncoming vehicle C during, now what I told you, by the time the overtaking takes place, in the same time frame the vehicle from the opposite direction is approaching. So same time frame, that means the t, it will remain the same. So whatever is t you have, or you will be calculating for this distance D2, that same t, it will be utilized for calculating this distance D3. So D3 is distance traveled in meter by oncoming vehicle C during the actual overtaking operation of A during time t seconds, and the position is C1 to C2. Okay. So whatever story I narrated you, the same I have just kept it in the theory form, or in the form of words, so that you can read it later. And the same theory is made here. So now I have given the heading into this slide is assumptions made. Okay? Because at every point while narrating the story also, at every point I made some assumption that okay, vehicle B is traveling with VB. So that's an assumption. Vehicle B is traveling with some speed, VB came page. Vehicle A has came into picture with a design speed V. So again, that's an assumption. Okay. So all this, again, the story that I have narrated, I have just written in form of a written in words so that you can read it. Okay. But the main story, it remains the same that I have shown in this slide itself. That what is the overtaking operation, and then in this overtaking operation, what are the different locations that we have frozen, and then what are the distance between them, and what are the speeds at different locations. Okay, the same story is given in this 2 slides. You can just read it on. Now coming to the actual analysis. Now I guess we have to stop here because the time is up. So I'll need another 15-20 minutes to continue this analysis. So what we'll do is we'll stop here for now. But now we have understood that how we will be developing the formula for OSD, that we'll be using this slide, and we'll be finding out individually what is D1, what is D2, and what is D3. And once we find out all these three, then simply what we have to do is we have to add all three of them, and that will give us the overtaking side distance OSD. So I'll stop here for today. In the next lecture, we'll continue from this slide itself, that will be having the overtaking scenario in your mind, and then we'll be finding out the formulas. Okay. So that's all for today.